Hi everyone, welcome back to South Africa. By now, you have known basic facts about the country. For example, it has more than 290 conservation parks. It is home to almost 300 mammal species, about 860 bird species, and 8,000 plant species. The annual sardine run is the biggest migration on the planet. Thus, in this session, we are going to talk about South Africa's uniqueness, while its special biomes and culture. Undoubtedly, South Africa is a wonderland in terms of wild animals and plants. And some extraordinary cultures survive and flourish on that land. Now, let's take a closer look at it. First of all, you should be aware that South Africa is one of the most biologically diverse countries in the world, after Indonesia and Brazil, according to South African National Biodiversity Institute. From black rhinoceros to zebras, South Africa is bursting with wonderful wildlife. Although the country makes up only about 2% of the Earth's land surface, it's home to various bird, fish, mammal, and reptile species, as well as plant species. The seas around South Africa are also full of incredible creatures. In fact, around 2,000 marine species visit South African waters at some point during the year. What's more, this magnificent country gets to enjoy one of nature's most spectacular underwater events, the sardine run. Every June, millions of sardines travel up to the east coast, creating a phenomenal feeding frenzy for thousands of hungry sharks, dolphins, and seabirds. In brief, the country is surrounded by two oceans, occupies only about 2% of the world's land area, but is home to nearly 10% of the world's plants, 7% of the reptiles, birds, and mammals, and 15% of known coastal marine species. The country comprises 9 biomes, 3 of which have been declared global biodiversity hotspots. Biodiversity richness is one of South Africa's greatest assets in terms of landscapes, ecosystems, and species. The web of natural life provides goods and services vital for human well-being and the survival of the planet. Besides, South Africa is one of the 30 driest countries in the world. Therefore, South Africans spare no effort in preserving biodiversity. A critical program is the South African National Parks. This is an organization of 19 national parks located in diverse vegetation types. The park system spans 7 of South Africa's provinces and makes up about 67% of the land under formal protection in the country. On the one hand, the organization plays a significant role in ecosystem restoration. On the other hand, it is important for the promotion of South Africa's nature-based tourism, targeted at both international and domestic tourism markets. It is a privilege of South Africans to enjoy such a diversified nature. Next, let's explore the country from a cultural aspect. Learning about the culture of South Africa is a crucial part of understanding the country's identity. For example, museums from Johannesburg to Robben Island, many including exhibits on the racial separation era, might not be light-hearted, but will help people to understand the factor of South African society and appreciate how far the country has come. Since South Africa is home to 10 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, we will focus on 2 sites of cultural significances: Robben Island and Khomani Cultural Landscape. The former was enlisted in 1999, which made it the first World Cultural Heritage Site in the country. The latter was enlisted in 2017 and was the newest World Cultural Heritage Site in the country. Robben Island. Robben Island was used at various times between the 17th and 20th centuries as a prison, a hospital for socially unaccepted groups, and a military base. Its buildings, particularly those of the late 20th century, such as the maximum security prison for political prisoners, witness the triumph of the democracy and the freedom over oppression and racism. It is most famous for the incarceration of political prisoners, including former President Nelson Mandela, who was imprisoned there for 18 of his 27 years in jail. The symbolic value of Robben Island lies in its somber history as a prison and a hospital for unfortunate who were segregated as being socially undesirable. This came to an end in the 1990s when the inhuman racial separation regime was rejected by the South African people, and the political prisoners who had been incarcerated on the island reserved their freedom after many years. The Khomani Cultural Landscape. It is located at the border with Botswana and Namibia in the northern part of the country. The large expanse of sand contains evidence of human occupation from the Stone Age to the present, and is associated with the culture of the formerly nomadic Khomani San people and the strategies that allowed them to adapt to harsh desert conditions. They developed a hunter-gatherer knowledge, cultural practices, and the worldview related to the geographical features of their environment. The Khomani cultural landscape bears testimony to the way of life that prevailed in the region and shaped the site over thousands of years. That's possibly why people call these kinds of heritages cradle of humankind. Well, each country is unique because of its location and culture. Despite the heart-wrenching past, in South Africa, there is a great pride and an immense sense of promise for the future. I hope you now know the beauty of South Africa after this session. See you next time.